please visit playeuchre-online.com to play the latest and best version of the game. Euchre. Guide. Euchre is a team game that focuses on interpersonal communication and social skills. The goal of this game is to win the trick by playing the high card in each round and to win more tricks than others. If a team scores 10 points first in a round, that team wins the game. What you need: 4 players, a standard deck of 52 playing cards, pencil and paper. Setting up the game. Euchre is played with 4 players split evenly into 2 teams. Each player sits opposite his or her partner at the table. Euchre deck can be easily made from a standard 52 card deck using just 24 cards. Before the game begins, the players agree on the trump suit, or the suit with the highest value of the game. The selected trump suit can any of the suits in the card deck: spades, hearts, diamonds, or clubs. The cards of each suit are ranked from highest to lowest. Right bower. The jack card from the selected trump suit and the best bower. Left bower. The jack of the same color as the trump suit, but from a different suit. Ace. The ace card from the trump suit. King. The king card from the trump suit. Queen. The queen card from the trump suit. 10. The 10 card from the trump suit. And 9. The 9 card from the trump suit. All other suits except for the cards of the trump suit or the jack of the same color as the trump suit have the following ranking from highest to lowest. The first dealer of the game is randomly selected from the 4 players and will rotate in a clockwise direction throughout the game. The dealer shuffles the cards and offers the player to the left with the choice to cut the deck or to play as it is. The dealer then deals out 5 cards to each player in 2 clockwise rotations around the table, which means 2 or 3 cards per round. If one player was dealt 2 cards in the first rotation, the dealer will then give him or her 3 cards in the next, or 3 in the first and 2 in the next, choosing the trump suit. When the dealer finishes passing out cards, we'll turn the next card in the remaining cards over and set it down face up. The player to the left of the dealer will then decide whether he or she accepts the up card suit as the trump suit or would prefer to turn it down or pass. Each player in turn, beginning with the player to the dealer's left, has the option of accept the up card suit as the trump suit or passing. If he decides to pass, the dealer's partner will have the choice of passing or saying "I assist." If both players pass, the player to the right of the dealer will decide to pass or say "I order it up." If all players pass the card, the dealer will then pick up the card saying "I take it up" or pass on the card, flipping it over face down and remarking "over" and the end of the turn. If one of the dealer or one of the dealer's opponents takes up the card, the suit on the up card becomes the trump suit. Then the dealer will add the up card to his or her hand while removing another card face down. If the dealer's partner says "I turn it down," that player will play alone and their partner must play his cards down on the table. If no one speaks up for the card and all players pass, the dealer will place the up card face down and turn a new card over the kitty. In the second round, the player to the left will pass or name a suit. If that player passes, the next player will also choose to pass or name a suit, continuing on until someone names a suit or all players pass. If all players pass again, the players throw in their cards, and new player is the dealer. The new dealer will shuffle their cards again and give each player a new hand to start the process over again. Playing alone. If any player from the maker or defender side feels as though he or she has a particularly strong hand, they can decide to play alone to win more points. This can be done once the trump suit is selected, but before the play begins. In some cases, one player from the maker side and one player from the defender side will both decide to play alone. Playing the game. There are 3 scenarios that might take place to determine who leads with the first card. If all of the 4 players are active, then the player to the left of the dealer begins the gameplay by leading with any card from his or her hand. If one player of the 4 has decided to play a lone hand, the player to the left of the solo player will go first. If 2 players have decided to go alone, the player whose team didn't choose the trump suit goes first. The first player to put down a card can lead with any card of their choosing. In a clockwise rotation, each player must follow suit by placing down a card of the same suit as the card led. Otherwise, they will play any card of their choice. The player that wins the trick will have played the highest card of the suit led, or in case a player put down a trump card, the highest trump card wins. The winning player will lead the next round. Scoring system. 1 point is scored for every 3 or 4 tricks taken, when all 4 players are playing in a round. 2 points are scored if either the makers or the defenders sweep all 5 tricks. If a lone player wins 3 or 4 tricks, their team wins 1 point. If a player plays alone and wins all 5 tricks, the team will score 4 points. If a player is caught failing to follow suit when he or she could have done so, this is called a renege. If the renege is committed and caught by a team going against a solo opponent, the penalty is 4 points added to the innocent team's score, or taken away from the guilty team's score. If the makers fail to take the trick at least 3 out of the 5 rounds, the defenders score 2 points and the makers are considered euchred. How to win? It's often said that euchre is a game of strategy and luck. Players do have control over the decisions they make, like knowing whether to beat or to pass, and when to play alone and how to read an opponent that affect not only their personal outcome but that of their partners as well. Here are a few very basic tips for the euchre methodology. Keep an eye out for cheaters. Learn to memorize the cards played. Be a good leader. Know when it's time to make the trump and when it's not. Pay attention to the cards that are turned down. It's safe to assume that if the dealing team turns down a card of a certain suit, neither of them have those suit cards, or the left bower card. In this case, leading with the opposite suit of the same color is mathematically probably choice for you and your partner winning the trick. The game's terms and definitions you can find on the corresponding websites. Euchre game variations. There are many variations of euchre that range from simple twists to total adaptations of the game. Here are just a few of the ways euchre is played. 25 and 32 card deck variations. In this variation, the joker card, referred to as the Benny, is utilized and has the highest value in the deck, followed by the right bower and left bower and the ace. In another versions, players use 32 card decks, where the 7 and 8 cards are included. This can create more confusion as to which players hold trump cards and which don't. Cutthroat, 3-handed euchre. In this popular version of the game, there are only 3 players that play on their own. The first player to reach 10 points wins the game. Smithy. In this version, the player to the left of the dealer makes a guess as to the suit of the trump card before the dealer deals the card to the players or turns over the up card. If the player guessed correctly, the suit is automatically the trump suit and the player to the left of the dealer that predicted that suit correctly gets the card. If a player calls trump correctly, he had decided to play solo. McEvoy. A McEvoy hand is a hand that is made up of 9s and 10s, the lower cards in the deck. If a player wants to declare his or her McEvoy hand, it must be done immediately after the cards are dealt and before the round of bidding begins. Players are allowed just 1 McEvoy call per player per game. Chuck. In euchre, chuck is a variation of stick the dealer. In this case, the dealer can decide to order up the trump, keep just 1 card from the hand, and trade the remaining 4 cards for those that remain in the kitty. This move can also include the up card that was turned over. Dirty clubs. Also known as club euchre, this version says that when the up card from the kitty is clubs, the dealer must declare it as the trump suit and play with his or her partner on the maker's side. Excess high, no trump. Just as the name says, this American version of the game states that a player can bid no trump after this first round of bidding has passed. This would make aces the highest cards rank in the deck. Haters. In this version, all suits may become trump suits except for hearts. Now, brief history of euchre. The game made its way to the US in the 19th century, where it was introduced most likely by German and French settlers in Pennsylvania and Louisiana, crisscrossing the Atlantic between the United States and England. It spread very quickly along the East Coast, becoming one of the most popular card games in both countries. Please visit playeuchre-online.com to play the latest and best version of the game.